Hi, this is E.T. One film that deserves, in my opinion, some attention as a pre-dystopian story is Infestation. It was released, well, I'm not sure when it was released. It says on IMDb 2020, but I'm pretty sure it was before then. It was written and directed by Tom Galong and Dominic Smith, and it stars Stephanie Neubauer as Annie. She's a talk show producer at a radio station, WEBM, located supposedly in Gulf Breeze, Florida, but it was actually filmed in South Florida. And then there's Bob Glazier. He plays Saul Worthington. He's a kind of Art Bell, understated talk show host with an interest in UFO, UAP phenomena. And then it stars Nathan Epperson. He is Jared, Annie's neighbor. Infestation is one of 3 invasion films that takes place mostly in a commercial radio setting, and I'll compare it to one of those 3. It's actually an Outer Limits episode, a redo of the Outer Limits. The name of the program was Alien Radio, and it featured Joe Pantoliano. He plays Stan Harbinger, a kind of Joe Pine type talk chat interrogator who debunks any serious chat about aliens or UFOs. Now, you remember Joe Pantoliano from the 1991 Matrix film? He played Cypher. Well, Alien Radio appears to even a casual media viewer as a made-for-TV, medium-budget sci-fi drama, a really good one. And as a drama, the acting, the pace are magnified beyond real life. Pantoliano's performance is brilliantly amped up to, say, Morton Downey Jr.'s, if you recall him from the late 1980s. But the point is, you know you're watching a theatrical piece. Infestation, though, comes off as a hybrid of drama and real-life documentary with a bit of that found footage mood that you see in the Blair Witch Project. Though this film, Infestation, does have professional direction and editing. Well, that said, the first few minutes through the cast credits did grab me with a very scary musical score, rivaled only by, well, Carmen Dragon's score for Siegel's Invasion of the Body Snatcher, or that spooky theremin opening for the 1951 The Day the Earth Stood Still. But the slick professionalism stops after the opening credits. From then on to the film's end, that I'm not going to reveal, the acting, mood of Infestation offers the impression that the viewer is sitting, well, first inside a radio station talk show booth, listening to actual insiders. There's Annie, the producer, and Saul, the host. They're prattling on about behind-the-scene microphone stuff, and it comes off very understated, but genuine. Now, I've got to add here, E.T. was a talk show host himself for about a decade here in Florida and in Washington State. And I believe that Stephanie Neubauer's and Bob Glazier's performances come across as genuine. It's so real that when Saul takes an extremely disturbing call, that viewers are aware that, well, they, and I'm using air quotes, they are probably here and living among us, and they're up to something very bad. The tension. Now, it's not yet been made aware to the cast, but it certainly has been made aware to the viewer. That tension builds slowly, but inexorably. Annie will lose all memory of driving from the station to her apartment, this is at night, and sitting in her car until about 3 o'clock. Then there's Annie's neighbor, Jared, played by Nathan Epperson. He's obviously interested in Annie, but we don't know what his motives are. Now, there are 2 episodes in this film, Infestation, that do much to reveal the threat to both Annie and the viewers. And the first involves a video female blogger, and that female blogger does a great job. And the second occurs when Annie returns to WEMB and confronts, well, I won't reveal what, but I'll say that the moment she finds Saul Worthington, E.T. was shocked. Directors Garland and Smith know how to scare without the very obvious CGI and those other modern technical devices. E.T. is not here to suggest that this film, Infestation, rivals, I'll say, John Carpenter's film, The Thing, or those others I mentioned earlier. And it does contain unnecessary diversions, such as Annie continually dancing around her apartment to the tune of a 1950s song, Tweedledee. But this low-budget film does its job and deserves a much higher rating on IMDb than it got. And speaking of IMDb, what the page reveals about this movie, in other words, the actors and plot, has nothing to do with the film that you see. And this may have to do with what the producers intended to do. They wanted to make 2 films, whatever. It's confusing, and this page for Infestation needs immediate correction. So, where can you find this film? It's available on Freevee, I think on Plex. E.T. found it on YouTube. It's definitely worth a watch, in my opinion. And I hope that Dominic Smith and Thomas Gallang follow up with that second part. This is E.T. My thanks, by the way, to Terry Hopkins of Fire Strike Production for his contribution to this video. Do like this video? And subscribe and type in your comments below. Thank you.